host, Michelle, sometimes called Miss Creative, sometimes called Michael or Mikkel, whatever people feel like reading. I have another installment of the show Dream Chasers, in which I sit and talk to various types of entrepreneurs about how they started their business, how they got to be where they are, etc., so on and so forth. Now, beginning this show, I was trying to talk to just entrepreneurs. I wanted to talk to people who started a business. But as I evolved, I, of course, attracted more people who were doing, mystic arts and that kind of thing. See that record back there? I need to put it away. I'm not going to do it. Not right now. Anyway, I started to draw people who were mystics. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, these people have businesses too. I'll talk to them. And so that's how we got here. So in this episode, I talked to somebody when I met her. I was actually wearing this shirt. When I met her, she was going by the name Kiko. And so in this episode, you will hear why she uses a different name now. But I think sometimes she still goes by Kiko. Sometimes. But at present, we will refer to her as Laurel or Oculaurel, okay? So this episode is going to feature Oculaurel. She is a mystic healer, and she has a spiritual business. So we talked some about how she got into that and how she kind of found that path, because, I mean, that's what these shows are about. Like, I know we're all out here growing and shifting and changing right now. A lot of us are coming into our spirituality, coming to places where we're realizing that, we can do these things with our mind power, right? And so, I mean, that's what you're going to see. Like, I have a long list of people that I'm going to reach out to interview once I get all of these old episodes edited. And I'm excited about it because I am confident and I know that I will get these people to come and talk to me because they want to share themselves. And I provide a safe space, for these people to talk about who they are and what they do without judgment. And a lot of times we don't feel confident in doing that. Like in this episode, you will hear me and her both talk about how I had to bring myself out and feel confident and stop hating on myself and let myself fly free. So that is really what we're going to be talking about. And I hope you like it. I hope that you vibe with it. If you don't forget to subscribe before you click off, okay? And let me just add, I just want to say that this video was probably one of the worst ones that I recorded because my video kept freezing. You can definitely hear it the whole way through, but my face is like, I hadn't used Skype at all for this, but I did this time, and I had to do it upstairs, which is farther away from the Wi-Fi, so I need to get a booster or whatever. Anyway, just hang tight, okay? Because like I said, this is like the last one like this, and then everything else should be clear and golden, okay? But growth. All right, let's get into it.
Oh, yes, I'll be moving again to Jamaica.
I was about to say, you're going to the islands. I kept seeing you like with plants, like not like plants like potted plants, but like plants that live in the ground.
Plants.
You know?
Big plants.
Yeah.
That's what I want to. I want really big plants. I want to be in like a jungle. That's
yes.
But
I thought about moving to, what is that? The U.S. Virgin Islands, because they have free college.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm like a professional student. But yes, after growing up in Houston, about 17, 18, I moved to New York. I was there for about 5 years. And then from there, I kind of started my world tour of like the East Coast between, I lived in Atlanta for 3 years, in and out of North Carolina, all in the DMV area. I surprisingly just started going to Florida. I have family in Florida, but just started kind of headed out there and just started going in the West Coast, like Cali and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
after that, I've lived in Houston a couple of times. I just did a 3 year in Houston.
Yeah.
Houston's not my favorite place, not because there's anything wrong with Houston. Just I just don't feel that pulsating, vibrant energy that I like here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's not like when you go to like New Orleans or New York, like somewhere that's like a real creative hub, you can definitely feel that energy there. Like everyone is making and creating and vibing, you know?
and see, I've never even been to New Orleans. I have saved that place for ages. I don't want to go there and not soak up everything that I deserve to soak up. So when I kind of got really serious about my journey, I started making like a list of like
Hmm.
all the things I'm gonna do in New Orleans, and I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there by myself, and I'm going to do all the things on my list.
Yes. Like I'll say that in going there last year, I went to Dallas, which also has a nice group of creative people there.
Yes, it
But
does.
I went to New Orleans and the energy was crazy. And we went to the Voodoo Museum and I
Ooh.
took some pictures. And when I left, I was just like inspired to write this blog article on
Mm.
the Chignon Law, which coincidentally you're wearing a head wrap. So it's like, I like how we took that and was like, bitch, I'll make this beautiful. You know, like when you're
Mhm.
telling me like I can't have my hair, because I've been wearing my hair huge at home because I don't have to tie it up. I don't
Right.
have to ball it up for work. I
Right.
don't have to damage it. And I think we Black women are some of the most creative
Oh yeah.
because
Life force.
taking,
Period.
yes, taking something that somebody gave you to shame you and turning it into your power or part of your power or giving it beauty, that is creation right there.
Well, that is being a black woman. Being a black woman is knowing that you could never, like,
Right.
you could never put anything in front of me to harm me because I take, you know, the darkest of the dark and make it light.
Yeah.
Like I have the Midas touch. Period. That
Yeah.
so it's unfortunate that, and I'm gonna say this is past tense because I believe like the black girls today are growing up with that confidence.
Hmm.
I think, of course, there's still work to do, but yeah, I think girls growing up today know that I'm not a burden. I'm not
Right.
taking up any space. I am the space. Like
Mm.
so, definitely.
Yeah. That's beautiful. So, like, okay, so how did you get into magic or alchemy, however you refer to it? How do you refer to your craft or what you do?
That's such a good question because there's so many names for what it is that I do or what I'm into, and I say that because everything's a hashtag and everything
Hmm.
has to be put into a box nowadays to be found because everything's online.
Yeah.
So in a box, it's um, alchemy. It is a gardener. It is a holistic doctor, a tarot reader, or things like that. But I would just describe it as just pure healing. Like that's the way I would group everything together because this is the way that I came to understand myself. I think you have to know where you come from, you have to know your history, you have to know your power. And the people before us have had ways of describing power and energy. So, of course, as we move forward in this life, those names are going to change for what it is, but the energy remains the same. And I am interested in the energy that I possess to create. And
Hmm.
that's what I study and that's what I use because I'm a creator. If you're an artist and you like to draw, you're going to get your pencils, you're going to get your erasers, your charcoal, your whatever mediums you use in paint, acrylic paint, whatever, you're gonna go get all of your tools to do that. So I know that I'm in divine connection with source. I know I'm an offspring of that.
Mm.
And so I'm just naturally gonna move towards the tools that I need to create,
Right.
manifest what I want. So I have the gift of being alive. So I just feel like if I have the gift of drawing, I'm going to draw and I'm going to create pictures that I like. And people are going to come look at these pictures and they're going to be inspired. They're going to think, they're going to allow me to connect with them.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most beautiful part of life is being able to connect. We were not meant to be here alone. Although society has kind of crafted that too to like, you know, go be great, be successful. I don't believe that success is something that you enjoy alone. I think
Mm.
success is something that involves connection and network and community. So however it is that you can manifest that is your power. And I know that there are multiple sides and multiple perspectives to everything. So I have to educate myself on those perspectives in order to use them. One of the things in drawing is like the eraser is just as significant as the pencil. You can
Mm-hmm.
get what you want out of erasing the same way you can draw what it is that you want on a blank sheet of paper.
Yeah.
So the shadow side, the
Mm-hmm.
light and the shadow side are important. So we need to I dig into both. This is such a huge the society has created these boxes for us. So we tend to gravitate to the ones that resonate with us the most, but that doesn't mean that we don't have eggs in multiple baskets. So
Right.
my goal or my purpose is to illuminate those things so that we can have the opportunity to connect deeper with one another, and that in turn will heighten our experience in this life. And ultimately I want myself and everybody that I interact with or that sees me, feels me, knows me to experience a deep feeling of love, because I think that's what life literally is. That's the pulsation, that's the vibration. If we can do things in love, how amazing. If we could erase anything that doesn't serve us or create things that will serve us, how great would it be to have those tools so that we can experience life the way that it was intended to be experienced.
Right. And due to the fact that you have those tools, amen. So, like you said something really that piqued my interest because it's something that I have been thinking about. And you were talking about how you had come from, a spiritual bloodline, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You were born into it. And I was thinking, probably because I know this about my dad for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I find his notes all the time, like stuff that he was writing to himself during business strategy and stuff like that. And the
Mm-hmm.
way that he would speak to himself reminds me of how I talk to myself whenever I do my auto writing. So I
Mm-hmm.
know that, and I also know that anytime that he would want to say something powerful, he would write you a letter. So
Mm-hmm.
that just signifies to me that he operated in the way that I do. And he passed
Right.
away when I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
So I never had a chance to talk to him about how to use myself, what to do, and
Mm-hmm.
how to navigate who I am and this body and in this family, like what I was born into. And I think it was because there's I won't call it a curse. Yes, it's a curse on my family of self-hate for your magic. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a consistent, like I can see it in everybody who has these abilities in my family. They either have severe
Well,
mental health problems.
well, not to cut you off, but that is true. Like Kanye said, they taught us how to hate ourselves and love their wealth,
Right,
and
right,
that's because when you are in a 2D, wherever your focus is at, that's where you're at. So if
right,
you're focused on materialism or mundane things, you're
right.
not even using your magic.
Right.
And I mean, it's a whole nother conversation to talk about the multitude of witchcraft being placed over the world,
Yeah.
okay, by
Yeah.
those who are hungry for power.
Yeah.
However, yeah, it does cultivate over time.
My
It does.
kids, girl, they know I'm doing something.
They know it cultivates over time. Yeah, a theme of self hate.
Yes. And so what I was saying was, I am now the one. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
I know better. So it's
Right.
my job to break it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like if my great grandma had known how beautiful and fabulous she was and loved herself, maybe she wouldn't have cursed so many people. Or maybe she wouldn't have hated her kids so much. Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe they wouldn't have hated themselves so much. And it's like they're not even doing it by intention. It's
Yeah.
just an automatic replication. I'm just lit my sage. An automatic replication of the bullshit. And I just want to cease that. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we should all be living here and be happy all the time. Well, not all the time because
Well,
there's,
you're going to experience life.
but
You know what I mean?
right,
Pendulum always going to swing both ways.
right,
But
exactly.
it's about balancing yourself in that, yes, ma'am, balancing yourself in that moment, every moment, so that no matter what comes, and this is the way I've been seeing it. And I told this to my boyfriend, Brian. It's like, I kind of see this bar, and like you're in the center of it. You got one side that's got your energy,
Spectrum.
one side that's booming.
Mm-hmm.
Always going to come from both sides. You want to stay right there. You know what I mean?
Contentment.
So that you can receive what's coming from the good side, because the further you are away from that shit is the longer it's going to take for you to get to it. Hell, you might not ever get up to that point. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's really what my focus is trying to teach people to loosen that shit up and allow themselves to move towards what it is that they actually want.
Right. And so that's why, to bring it back to your original question, like how can I talk to people about what it is that I'm into, or how do I label what I do? And
Mm.
I don't think that there's a name for it yet, because I think that is being created. I do think, I mean, I'm here in this life using stuff that came before me. So
Yeah.
there are names for those things, of course. But I do think moving forward, we're tapping into things that haven't even doesn't have a hashtag yet.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
hard to talk about sometimes. So this is like the cards I've been pulling lately for people. Almost all my readings, I've been pulling the Throne of Action. Yes, the Page of Swords. That's
Mm-hmm.
that mental clarity. That's the Throne of Action. Like realizing that majority of the power to create what I want is inside of me and
Yes.
inside of my thoughts. And that's what people are starting to latch on to. Is they're starting to realize, like, yes, I can create what I want from the pictures in my head. I am
Right.
my thoughts. My thoughts aren't something that's happening to me. It's something that I can facilitate and that I can utilize.
Okay, so did you get that jewel that was dropped there about using love, about becoming love, about feeling love, about being in your highest vibration, and all of that jazz? I hope you did. I hope you did. And I really hope that somebody got something out of that. And I just want you to know that she and I sat and talked for an hour and a half, so I have, I think, at least two more of those coming, two or three. I mean, I've got a lot here that I recorded when I was just sitting at my house going, it's coronavirus. So, I mean, I'm bringing it all out. I'm editing it as I can, and I have more of this one, and more of this one. I have more of this episode, or I have more of this interview, at least an hour left, and then I have another interview with Virginia that I need to edit. That will come next. And then once I get the rest of Oculaurel out and Virginia out, then I'm going to schedule and book for the rest of, which I think I double booked on the 29th. No. Braces are in the morning, interview is in the evening. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so I have a lot of shit happening. Okay. I'm excited about it because I love content. I love it. I love it. I mean, we're in a time right now where, hell, if you're not making videos, what are you doing? Why? You know, like you're sitting at home. People are like, man, I wish I had a way to talk to more people. Oh, okay, because the whole internet is not right there. So, like, get out of your own way and do the thing. All right, so I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to follow me and Oculaurel on Instagram or wherever you're doing social media at OCU, Laurel, Laurel, okay? And at MS Creative AF, at Between Us and Girls Podcast, all right? So, have an excellent day. And hit the Dougie on them hoes, okay? All right. Bye.